In the winter of 1545, I was born in Gyeongchang, Seoul. It was an aristocratic family, but it wasn't rich. In the back of my mind, I always had this dream: I want to be a general who protects the people. At night, I practiced archery by myself. By the age of 20, I had applied for a past exam but failed. I challenged myself to dance. But I fell in the first test and fell off a horse and got seriously injured. But I didn't give up. I tried again the next year and I finally passed the officer exam. The first time I met a person named Won Kyun was right after I joined the military. He was not incompetent, but full of desire for success, and he was a conspirator to keep his seat rather than join forces with others. Over the years, I was appointed as Jasusa. The sea was my battlefield, and people were what I had to protect. I worked with the soldiers to repair ships, build turtle ships, and concentrate on training. Meanwhile, Won Kyun was appointed as an excellent sergeant in Gyeongsang province, but he was more obsessed with drinking and power than with naval training. His sailors were weak, and his soldiers lacked training. Won Kyun and his aides, in particular, frequently gossiped about the monarchy, and King Seonjo eventually believed in it. I was imprisoned and banished from my position as a naval controller. It was a time when spirits were scarier than when they rebuilt their navy and fought for their country. But I never gave up. It was to protect the Black Sea, and that was the way for the people. Before the Japanese invasion of Korea, Joseon was busy fighting peacefully by dividing power into tattoo-centered politics. Ancestors were fearful monarchs, and their subjects followed wisdom rather than truth. People were starving, and Japanese pirates were plundering Joseon land along the southern coast.
Before the Japanese invasion of Korea, Joseon was busy fighting peacefully by dividing power into tattoo-centered politics. Ancestors were fearful monarchs and their subjects followed wisdom rather than truth. People were starving, and Japanese pirates were plundering Joseon land along the southern coast. Meanwhile, 1592, Toyotomi Hideyoshi landed in Busanpo with hundreds of thousands of troops. The ground burned and the capital collapsed in just 15 days. The king fled, and I heard the whole country collapse. If the country shakes, I will protect the sea. In Okpo, the Japanese Navy was throwing a party, burning houses and killing civilians. I watched them and clenched my teeth. It wasn't revenge, it was justice. So we competed at dawn. As the Panjuk ship charged, the Navy lifted the spear from the water. 26 enemy ships were engulfed in flames. It was a day when people's anger burned. May 1592, off the coast of Sacheon, where a Japanese ship is docked. There the turtle ship began its first voyage. The ironclad defeated the swords and fire of the Japanese Navy. He fired his gun at the center of the enemy's front line. That day, I was shot with an arrow on my shoulder, but I didn't let go of my knife. Although blood flowed, the sea turned red as the ship advanced. A longevity is a man who bleeds but does not look back. When I took charge of the sea, the first thing I thought of was that it was not a weapon. It was a way to protect the people. The Japanese approached the bottom of the ship, grabbed the ship, jumped and killed it. They also had a powerful weapon called guns. I spread out the design every night and drew the curves of the hull by hand. And I drew a ship. A shell covered in iron armor. A necrotic ship from the head of a dragon. The enemy brings fear, but we leave hope. The name is Turtle Ship. People rolled their arms to make a boat. Hungry people cut down trees to protect their children. The waters off Hansando Island were wide and deep. All the ships were spread out like a semicircle. His name is Hak Ik-jin, Heijin. It was a tactic to spread the shape of a crane like spreading its wings and surrounding the enemy. The enemy fell into a trap, and flames soared from all sides. The turtle ship penetrated the center, and the soldiers' morale soared. On that day, we were able to control the sea perfectly. Hansando became a legend in the Joseon Navy, and Japan was afraid of the sea. I will protect this sea until the day people come back. The Joseon Navy was in a state of destruction when I went down to Baekwaejeonggun. The Protozoan lost all of its ships from 7,000 to 130 ships. There are only 12 ships left, said the king. How can you stop the enemy with 12 ships? I said it. God still has 12 ships left. Myeongyang Oldolmok, a river channel where strong currents flow. I used the terrain to attract large numbers of enemy forces. Get your guns ready and tell the soldiers. We can't back down, we have people behind us. On that day, 12 ships won with 330 attacks. It was a day when the sky cried and the sea trembled. In 1598 Noryang, towards the end of the war, I got back on the turtle ship. That night, in the thick fog and quiet waves, I looked at the battlefield. At that moment, the enemy's bullet went through my chest. I whispered, even as I was short of breath and my knees bent, "Don't announce my death, make up a wire." That was my last word. I died in the sea. My blood seeped into the sea. I will protect my country forever.
Let me introduce you to the turtle ship. The turtle ship is an innovative combat ship that Admiral Yi Sun-shin used in battles against the Japanese military during the Imjin War. The turtle ship is an improved version of the existing panic ship, which covers the deck and enhances the enemy's defense for easy boarding by inserting an all-in sword. It is also designed to intimidate enemy forces by installing a dragon head-shaped bachelorette in the front of the ship and deploy multiple gun gates inside to provide powerful firepower. The turtle ship played an important role in leading the Joseon Navy to victory in several naval battles, including the Battle of Dangpo and the Battle of Hansando after it was first put into action in 1592. This became a source of fear for the Japanese military and contributed greatly to establishing the Joseon Navy's tactical superiority. The structure and performance of the turtle ship changed with the times, and it continued to be built after the Imjin War. The turtle ship played an important role in leading the Joseon Navy to victory in several naval battles, including the Battle of Dangpo and the Battle of Hansando after it was first put into action in 1592. This became a source of fear for the Japanese military and contributed greatly to establishing the Joseon Navy's tactical superiority. The structure and performance of the turtle ship changed with the times, and it continued to be built after the Imjin War.
The turtle ship was designed by Na Dae-yong, 1556–1612. As a military officer in the middle of the Joseon dynasty, the main building was Simon was, and his pen name was Chiam. After failing to study martial arts in 1583, the 16th year of King Seonyo's reign, he resigned as a trainee and returned to his hometown to devote himself to the study of turtle ship. After completing the first test in 1590 at Bangjukul in front of the village, a year before the outbreak of the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1590, he began to build the turtle ship in earnest under the direction of Admiral Yi Sun-shin of the Jeolla-do Navy. The turtle ship is better than the existing curve, covering the deck and inserting an all-and sword to enhance the enemy's defense capabilities, making it easier to climb. It is also designed to threaten the enemy by installing a dragon head-shaped corvette in front of the ship, and to deploy several gun gates inside to unleash strong firepower. Thanks to this innovative design, the turtle ship played an important role in leading the Joseon Navy's victory during the Imjin War. The turtle ship is better than the existing curve, covering the deck and inserting an all-and sword to enhance the enemy's defense capabilities, making it easier to climb. It is also designed to threaten the enemy by installing a dragon head-shaped corvette in front of the ship, and to deploy several gun gates inside to unleash strong firepower. Thanks to this innovative design, the turtle ship played an important role in leading the Joseon Navy's victory during the Imjin War. Let me explain about the Righteous Army, the hidden hero of the Imjin War. During the Japanese invasion of Korea, 1590–1598, the Righteous Army of Japan was voluntarily organized and active in Joseon against the Japanese invasion. The Righteous Army was organized mainly by former bureaucrats, srim, monks, and farmers, and it achieved great results by conducting guerrilla and surprise battles against the Japanese military, in a situation where the Joseon army failed to respond properly to major volunteer army chiefs and activities. Kwak Jae-woo, he was called General Hangui, by organizing a volunteer army in Uwariyeong, Gyeongsang Province, to deter Japanese soldiers around the Nakdongang River. Ko Kyung-myung, he raised a righteous army in Jeolla Province, and fought the Japanese army in the Battle of Gumsan, but he was killed. Cho Hyun, he organized a volunteer army in Chungcheong Province to retake Cheongju Castle, and fight to the end in the Battle of Gumsan. Kim Ki-il, Nayu organized a volunteer army, and moved to Gangwado Island to attack the Japanese army. Jang Mun-bu, he organized a volunteer army in Hamjeong-do to defeat the Japanese army, and win the Battle of Gyeongseong. Strategies and influences of the Righteous Army. The Righteous Army used ambush, surprise attacks, and guerrilla tactics to block the supply routes of the Japanese military, and to prevent the movement of the enemy. Their activities brought the Joseon army an important time to reorganize its battle lines, and took a toll on the Japanese military. In addition, Kwan Yeol, Kim Soo-min, and Nong are representative figures. Kwan Yeol, a general who led the Joseon army, and largely defeated the Japanese army at the Battle of Hangyu. Thanks to his strategic command, the Joseon army was able to win despite its numerical inferiority. Kim Soo-min, this is a general who fought valiantly against the Japanese military in the Battle of Jinyu Castle. Under his command, the Joseon army defended Jinyu Castle by preventing Japanese attacks. 1570–1593 was a woman who fought courageously against the Japanese army in the Battle of Jinyu Castle during the Imjin War. She is famous for luring Japanese soldiers from Choksiakru in Jinyu and jumping into the Nam River together to die.